Hello, this is Tracy Bond with Irish Film Critic, and I have Zora here, who's starring in Burlesque, Heart of the Glitter Tribe. Hello, Zora. How are you today?
Hi, wonderful. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to tell you, first of all, that I was very intrigued by this film, and it opened some new questions in my mind, basically about this whole art of burlesque. Now, tell me how you got started with it.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear the film did that for you guys. That is our entire aim. So we have success now based on this response to me. Thank you. I got started with burlesque actually quite by accident. My primary dance format was hip-hop, and I was teaching at a studio, and the studio essentially created an in-house burlesque troupe, and I was asked to be part of it, and I had no idea what burlesque was. But it was like, yeah, sure, of course, more stage time, why not? So I dove in with zero understanding of what burlesque was, and forward from there it went.
Okay, and how long have you been doing it?
I actually celebrated my 10-year anniversary in December.
Well, happy anniversary. So tell me.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me, do you consider yourself a burlesque artist, or because I'm not in that particular area, I don't know the proper technology for? So tell us what you call burlesque performance artists.
I personally am not someone who gets really hung up on it. I tend to say I do burlesque. And some people call it burlesque performance, some people call it burlesque entertainment, some people call it burlesque artistry. There's a lot of things, and I would almost say that there are many ways to refer to oneself as an artist, as there are people creating whatever kind of art they are. So for me, I generally just say again that I do burlesque. I tend to err on the side of artistry, mostly because of the amount of myself and of my skill set that I involve, when I call upon myself to create a new act or to be present for new ideas that I have for an act. I mean, it's costuming, it's engineer costume design, it's how do I make something that's really, really large that also can come off in literally 2 seconds. Like I need to be able to either pull a tab or pinch something and this whole thing falls off of me. So the ingenuity behind that is huge. Really diving into music, which I love. I'm very musically oriented, very musically focused with my burlesque performance. And so getting inside a piece of music, interpreting the intention of the music, obviously from my standpoint, and diving into that and how best I'm going to give the message and the concept of the act that I'm creating, how I, match my costume with that vision so that when I come out, I have a very, very clear intention with the audience before I've even moved, before the music has even started. So given that I tap into so many of those faculties, I do like to say that I'm a burlesque artist for that reason.
And that sounds like a very good reason to me. And tell me, let's just go 10 years back, and was your personality the type that would suggest that you'd ever be that, or was it totally opposite, whereas that type of acting brought you into a different realm?
I think I probably fall somewhere in between. The idea of performing in a different genre was exciting for me. Taking off my clothes really didn't seem like that big of a deal. When you dance, it kind of doesn't matter what kind of dance you're doing. At some point, you're backstage doing quick changes with people, getting naked, changing costumes. And so none of that really was like, oh, this is why this wouldn't be for me. It kind of was just like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And it was such a remarkably and wildly different experience performing burlesque than performing hip-hop, because the intention is worlds different. The intention of the audience is worlds different. The vulnerability and the intention that you share with the audience in any kind of burlesque piece is so much different than any other dance format. And so for those reasons, or I guess those would be the reasons that I would say how I kind of fell into it and just stuck with it.
Okay, and do you all get, as peers, do you all get ideals from one another? I'm asking that to lead into how you actually came to be a part of the Heart of the Glitter Tribe.
Oh, yeah, sure. So the first part of the question is yes. I think it's very important that you surround yourself, as any kind of professional, with people who you think have strengths that you don't possess and who are smarter than you in whatever ways, so that when you need to workshop an idea, whether it's I want to produce this show, what do you think? Or I want to create this act, what do you think? Or, whatever your idea is, that you have a group of people that you can go to and sort of lay your really literal, your literal ideas down on the table and know that you're going to be greeted with compassion and enthusiasm and people who are interested in helping you advance those ideas. So the first part of the question, I would say, yes, I make it a very sacred point of making sure that I have a small faculty, which seems like a very strange word, but sort of true, a small cabinet of people who I love and who I trust and whose ideas are sometimes very divergent from mine, but ultimately I know that I can go to them and always get very stimulated and very dynamic feedback. That is a huge part of the environment that I create for myself, being a burlesque performer. And beyond that, in terms of the film, I kind of fell into it because the co-producer of the film, Julie Livingston, who is John's partner in life and partner in crime, was taking my dance classes. And, she went back to John and was like, listen, there's something here, XYZ. They came and filmed the show. And at that point, we didn't really know what it was going to be or where it was going to go or what the theme was going to be, but we just knew that there was something. And given my professional relationship with Julie as her dance teacher, but then also a very kindred personal relationship that developed there and one of friendship, the production went offline for a couple of years because we just weren't sure what it was going to be or what it wanted to be or how to tap into allowing it to tell us what it wanted to be. And then when we found that stride again, I ended up being somebody who was very integral for them to get them connected with, the industry nationally and then the community locally. So that's sort of how I became, part of the film in front of the camera and also behind.
Wow, and as they say, the rest is history, huh?
The rest is history.
That is a very
and we have 73 beautiful minutes to use over that history.
Wow, that is wonderful. And I was just reading about the in LA, 40 individual burlesque shows. Do you think there is actually a renewed interest in burlesque, or has there just been a strong presence all the time?
That's a great question. It's challenging to answer. I believe that whenever you're in an industry, your first answer would be that there has been an interest all the time.
Right.
Because you are constantly surrounded by people who have interest. I definitely think that, like any fad or, something that kind of has like a quick burst of phenom, I think that burlesque has definitely experienced that as well. I think it is very fair to say that in burlesque history, it has had very long, sustained, healthy stretches of sustained interest. I also think that there have been many periods of burlesque history, and I'm only speaking, of course, nationally for the U.S. because this is the history that I'm most familiar with, where it is entirely fueled by the people who love doing it and by those people motivating their audiences and their fans to bring people to shows and to keep a pulse in this industry. I do think that there are a lot more schools cropping up, so I think with the kind of streamlined accessibility to burlesque, it creates a bit of a popular streak or a fad, because now all of a sudden, people have like this really direct step of like, I'm going to go to the school, learn how to make costumes, learn how to put on lashes, and then I get to perform. And like, yay, now I'm a burlesque performer. So there's kind of that portion of the industry that exists, and that is, of course, not to be derogatory in any way towards schools or towards anyone who takes that path. I taught at one of the local schools in Portland for a couple of years and love it, and think that there's so much richness and so much greatness in schools and in education in such a way. The very positive, expansive note of what a school does is that it brings people in who had no idea what burlesque is, who had no idea what they were getting into, and then they go talk to their friends about it. And then, every school runs a little bit differently, but it's most common that at the end of, your 10-week or 8-week or 12-week sort of semester, your term, there's a performance. And, of course, you invite your nearest and dearest to that performance as this, little sort of newbie burlesque performer that's kind of getting christened into the world of glitter. And those audiences are almost 100% total virgin burlesque audiences. They've never seen it. They don't know what it is. They don't understand it. And so they come, and then they get exposed. And so that, I think, is part of the value of this kind of newer wave thing that exists because burlesque got so popular. Because obviously, at the end of any day, there has to be a train of money coming in the door, right? If nobody's making money, it becomes very hard to be sustainable. And so school and teaching and workshops are a really great way for established performers and veteran performers to, obviously make money, but give back into the industry. If you want to see the people coming up behind you excel and aim for the stars and be putting out quality content and quality performances, the best way that you can do that is put your hands in it. Put your hands in it and be part of the system, continuing to be good and continuing to be better.
Okay. And the last thing that I'd just like you to tell us, what is the one thing about burlesque that you just can't tell everyone enough of?
We have a really good fucking time all the time. And I can't say that enough. People come to shows and they're just like, oh my God, what was that? That was so amazing. And I feel so energized. And I feel so differently as a woman about my body now. And I looked at bodies on stage that look just like me. And I never see that represented in mainstream media or in the magazines. And holy shit, oh my God, this is the enthusiasm that people get very frequently when they come to shows. And it's because of that we have a really good fucking time all the time. It's sort of like my paradigm. It's yes, you have no idea. You have no idea, so just come to the show. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm not going to explain it. Just come to a show. Because until you come and see it, you have no idea. And I really believe that burlesque is one of those very rare things that truly, until you come to a show, you have no idea what it is or what it is that you're missing out on.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Zora. And you've heard it, folks. We have Zora, who's starring in Burlesque, Heart of the Glitter Tribe. Director-producer John Manning will be bringing it to us in theaters March 3rd. It's on video on demand and will be in iTunes on March 7th. Again, thank you so much. We appreciate it and certainly look forward to it.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.